From the studios of Books in Motion, this is Kevin Foley, reading Combat Pay by Curt Messex. Now, let's begin with Combat Pay. Chapter 1. Ben Het, Vietnam. This is gonna be a bitch, I thought to myself. Probably get shot all to hell again. Pleiku is the closest place to put the bird down, but their weather is lousy. Have to make an instrument landing for sure, and their runway isn't all that great for a C-130 with problems. Might not be able to get in there if we get hit too hard. There's a miserable little excuse for a runway down there in that black hole somewhere that belongs to the VC. Rotten choice, but a possibility if everything goes to hell. Some of the crew might get away. One thing at a time. First, put 15 tons of ammo in the middle of the camp like the man requested. Then do your damnedest with whatever's left, just like last time. For a second or two, I felt again the shudder of heavy machine gun bullets ripping into my C-130, smelled the smoke, saw the warning lights flash on as vital systems failed, felt the flight controls freezing up. I buried the memory, focused on the here and now. 2 more circles in the dark, narrow gap between visible mountain ridges and low-hanging clouds. Then the radio clicked, hissed for a moment, and laconic word came from the AC-119 gunship pilot. "Igloo, you can start in. The natives don't seem quite so restless now." "Roger," Larry acknowledged and looked at me. "Door open?" "Right. Open the door, Bernie. We'll call this the 3-minute warning. We're going in now." "Yes, sir," the loadmaster answered. A red light flashed on, and the airflow around my face changed subtly. "Door's open, sir." "Make sure all the cabin lights are out," I reminded him. "Lights are out back here, sir." "Ray?" "We're dark, sir," answered my engineer after quickly double-checking switches on the overhead panel. I turned toward the camp, took a deep breath, let it out slowly, and settled a little more firmly into the armored seat. My flak jacket hung up on the right armrest. I pulled it in, snug, thinking, one thing at a time. Stay loose. First, get the load in, then do your best with whatever's left. The last ridgeline, more felt than seen, passed close underneath. As the radio altimeter showed rapidly increasing clearance, I pulled the throttles back, started a shallow dive to drop altitude, 600 feet above the camp. Down, down, down between the mountains, down to the valley floor. Altimeter hand swung close to the right number. I eased the nose up gently, adjusted the throttles to hold the airspeed at the agonizingly slow 130 knots required for the airdrop. Fine-tuned them for even power output. Checked the stacked rows of engine gauges again one last time. Everything was in the green. My aluminum bird was content. "You on your way in yet, Igloo?" Shadow asked impatiently. "Affirmative. 4 miles." I replied tersely, wishing he hadn't asked, and hoping the listening opposition couldn't relay the word to their gunners quickly enough. I shifted my thumb back to the interphone button. "Warn the camp to get their heads down, Larry." He nodded and keyed his FM transmitter. The first trickle of tracers, bright strings of flaming red balls, streaked by from behind as he spoke. "Heavy machine gun," I noted with analytic detachment. 12.5 or maybe 14.7 millimeter. Tracers about every 5 rounds, holding just a hair too low for the range. Dumb sucker is probably holding his crosshairs right on the exhaust flames instead of allowing for the range. More joined him. More and more. Within seconds, the trickle was a torrent from both sides.